Hello students, now in this session I will explain question number 2 and 3 of exercise 6.1 of chapter squares and square root. Okay, now in question number 2 we have the following numbers are not perfect squares. Now we have to give reason. So it is already said that these all numbers which are given under question number 2 are not perfect square, but we have to say why. Okay. Now the first thing that you all have to know that any natural number, these are all natural numbers, so any natural number that ends with 0, 2, 3, 7 and 8 are not perfect square. Now in case of 0 you have to see that how many zeros are there at last. Okay, if number of zeros are even, then it could be a perfect square. But if the number of zeros are in odd number formation, suppose 3 is there, 5 zeros are there, but 7 zeros are there, fine, then that particular number will not be a perfect square. But suppose if any number is carrying 2 zeros or 4 zeros or 6 zeros, that is even numbers of zeros, and okay, then it could be a perfect square. I am not saying that it will be a perfect square, but it could be a perfect square. But apart from that, if any number ends with 2, that is the unit digit is 2 or 3, 7 or 8, then they will not be a perfect square. So this is the first sentence that we'll write, that we know that any natural number, okay, we know that any natural numbers, or numbers we can write ending, okay, in the digits 0, 2, 3, 7 and 8. Okay, remember this. Now in case of 0 I said how many zeros are there. If it is in even number zeros, then it could be a perfect square. But if there are odd number of zeros are there, then it will be never be a perfect square. So in case for 0 it is little different. But as I have said, you have to count it how many zeros are there. Now are not perfect square. Are not perfect square. Okay. So now this is why we will say question number 1. Now question number 1 is what? 1, 0, 5, 7, isn't it? So now what is the unit digit? What is the unit digit, students? It is 7. So what did I say? Any number, any natural numbers ending with 0, 2, 3, 7 is also there. So that is the reason it won't be a perfect square. So we will write ends with 7. Okay, because we have given the common statement for every sum. Okay, now number 2. Now what is number 2? 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. Okay, now what is the unit digit? Yes, unit digit is what? 3, isn't it? So ends with 3. It ends with 3 because we have already mentioned any natural number ending with 3 will also not be a perfect square. Now let's move on to number 3. Question number 3. So question number 3 is 7, 9, 2, 8. So 8 is also there. So we will write ends with 8, isn't it? Now what about question number 4? We have 6, 2. How many 2's are there? 6 2's are there. But what is the unit digit? What is there in the unit digit? So let me just encircle this one also and this one also. So question number 4, unit digit is 2. So we'll write as it ends with 2. So this is how we'll do question number 2 and the rest of the sums also. Fine. That is, there are 8 questions. So rest of the 4 questions will be your homework. Now let's move on to